People who went to a wedding where the couple didn't last long, what happened? They were both 35, successful lawyer and doctor, but had never spent the night at each other's house. After the marriage, they couldn't agree who would move in with who and filed for divorce after 3 months. No one knows why they even got married at all. I guess they felt like they were supposed to at that age. It was a very small wedding with just parents, siblings, and a few close friends, with the reception taking place in a restaurant. The groom disappeared from the meal for almost an hour to go and smoke weed, and when he returned, she yelled, "You couldn't last 3 fucking hours without going for a spliff. Fuck's sake!" 6 months later, the two of them had no cash as he wouldn't get a job and she was studying. She said to him, "We have $20 left in our account. If you spend it on weed, I'm leaving you." He spent it on weed. She packed her bags that night. The wedding was beautiful, and the most expensive wedding I have even been to. The bride worked for a fashion designer in NYC and had 3 different dresses she wore during different parts of the wedding. They announced she was pregnant soon after the wedding, and unfortunately scans showed there were a few things wrong with the baby. The stress of the situation caused my cousin, the husband, to relapse and go back to his old heroin habit, which apparently she had no idea about. His drug use quickly spiraled, and he got fired from his job for stealing, and then his wife found out about it all and moved out to stay with her parents. Baby was born 100% healthy. Scans had got it wrong. He tried to quit drugs and make amends to her, but it was rocky, and she divorced him before their first anniversary. He dipped off for a few years doing drugs, then got sober and found out he had brain cancer. Relapsed. Got sober again and had his brain tumor removed. Now he is still sober and remarried, has a few kids with his new wife. Saw some signs at the wedding like ignoring each other, making rude and snide remarks publicly, etc. They tried to fix their marriage by having a kid earlier than they planned, and that led to divorce. Both are married to different people now and have had more kids, by all accounts far more civil, even cordial with each other. Jesus Christ. I'll never understand how people think that bad marriage plus kids, good marriage. If you're not getting what you need from your partner, how is additional financial and emotional obligation, responsibility to the mix gonna help? My brother got married to a woman from Russia while in the army. The whole family thought she married him for a green card, but he was convinced it was love. They had their ceremony in a gazebo on a military base. It was a small gathering of family that traveled to it from out of state. His best friend since high school got ordained just so he could marry them. My brother was really excited. He wore a nice suit, and the bride, well, she showed up in a bright pink tracksuit. They divorced a year later. One of my best friends got married. None of us had met her before, but we hadn't seen him in years and were super excited to reconnect. This was the most elaborate wedding I had ever been to. Tuxes, an incredible meal, a hall that resembled Hogwarts, an opera performance, and a string quartet playing his favorite rap songs. It was incredible, yet we just knew it wasn't him. We started to mingle with her friends at a table, and we soon learned they didn't really know her. We brushed it off as we just wanted to be there for him and have a good time. That was until the mother of the bride made a harmless joke about the bride being difficult as a child. This led to the bride eventually storming off after the dances, locking herself in a room, getting blackout and berating him, his family, and many guests who had flown across the country to be there. It all started to click that she was just absolutely psycho. Most of the guests caught the vibe and left by 9:30 p.m. Me and my friends eventually sat with her friends and shut down the party, from 150 guests down to 8. Why would we let everything go to waste? He quickly came over after he was able to calm her down and apologized to us and left. We honestly thought we'd never see him again. 6 weeks later, he called me. He had returned home. They were done. The story just has so many layers to it. Looking back, in the one day we had been around the situation, there was so many red flags. Thankfully, we have him back and he's thriving.
Thanks for watching. Write your story in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you tomorrow.